Home and away spoilers. Eliza refuses to help as Harper goes into labor. Next week on Home and Away in the UK. As Harper goes into labor during a bushwalk with Eliza, she and her baby face a battle for survival. If the drama of a last-minute wedding cancellation wasn't enough, next week sees Harper unexpectedly go into labor at the worst possible time, stuck in the middle of nowhere with only 14-year-old Eliza for company. After previously undergoing risky surgery on her unborn child to remove a cyst from his lung, Harper was advised to have a cesarean section, which is booked in for just a few days' time. But in true Summer Bay style, baby Archie clearly has other ideas. It's only been a matter of days since Harper had been preparing to marry Tane, the baby's father. However, it had become increasingly clear that Tane wasn't fully committed to the relationship and was only going through with the wedding for the sake of their child. On the eve of the ceremony, Harper confronted Tane, who admitted that while he cared for her, he wasn't in love. Harper subsequently called off the wedding, although Tane made it clear that he still intended to co-parent. Harper was devastated by his admission and, later that day, told him she wanted to raise Archie on her own. Meanwhile, Rue has been struggling with how to manage foster child Eliza, whose troubling behavior has already led Marilyn to temporarily move out to the beach house. When Alf returned from a trip to Marimbula and learned that Eliza had stolen one of his fishing knives, he decided to put her to work in the bait shop as punishment. An unhappy Eliza walked out on the job, with Rue backing her by telling Alf that the punishment was too harsh. Rue instead decided to reach out to social worker Harper, who Eliza had formed a strange fascination with after seeing her pregnant belly in the surf club and placing her hand on it. After Rue recently discovered the cache of unusual items in Eliza's jewelry box, Harper agreed to meet with Eliza to try and get to the bottom of her behavior. But Eliza kept steering the conversation back to Harper's baby. When Tane walked in as Harper allowed Eliza to feel the baby kicking, he was concerned, having been forced to ban Eliza from the youth program after she threatened another student with a broken bottle. Tane convinced Harper to cut ties with Eliza, leading a bitter Eliza to burn a teddy bear that she had bought for the baby when told she could no longer see her. But with Tane no longer in the picture, Harper has again agreed to talk with Eliza. A frustrated Tane expressed concern for Harper's safety when he saw Harper taking a walk with Eliza. But she firmly reminded him that it wasn't his place to interfere, they're no longer together. Tane instead recruited Marilyn into keeping an eye on Harper and Eliza at the beach house. But whilst she was able to report their safe return, Harper and Eliza then slipped out for a drive whilst Marilyn was upstairs. As we return to the scene next week, Harper has taken Eliza for a peaceful bushwalk at Summer Bay Reserve. Eliza revels in the sense of freedom, feeling as if they're the only two people in the world, even letting out a scream that echoes across the river. Eliza confesses that she wants to remember the moment, so Harper offers to snap a selfie of them together. As the two continue to walk, conversation turns to the subject of Harper's cesarean, as Eliza asks Harper if she's looking forward to it. Having also displayed a slightly unnerving interest in medical procedures, Eliza is keen to know whether they will use the same incision as Harper's previous operation. But as Harper tries to steer the conversation back to Eliza, she doubles over in pain. Horrified to realize that she's having a contraction, she quickly states that they need to get back to the car. They're not going anywhere fast though. And as Harper struggles through the pain, Eliza watches intently. When Eliza inquires about the potential consequences of not reaching the hospital, Harper makes it clear that a natural birth isn't an option, it's far too risky. Harper asks Eliza to call an ambulance, but when Eliza picks up Harper's phone, she notices missed calls from Tane and quietly deletes them. Instead of summoning help, Eliza only pretends to make the emergency call, being far more interested in seeing what might happen next. As Harper's labor progresses, she is left with no pain relief and no support. With time ticking, and still waiting for the help that will never come, Harper asks Eliza to help her back to the car. Eliza discourages her, stating that they should stay put until the ambulance gets there, whilst Harper argues that she needs to be in an operating theater. Another contraction quickly interrupts her. When Harper eventually checks her phone, she sees missed calls from Tane and calls him back, telling him they're at the reserve. Tane immediately ropes in Levi and rushes out to help. When the pair eventually track down Harper and Eliza, Harper tells them that an ambulance is already on the way, as Eliza stays silent. Levi examines Harper and finds she is fully dilated, confirming she has to give birth then and there. Harper becomes distressed, insisting she needs a caesarean, but Levi explains there's no time and the baby is coming. Tane contacts the emergency services again, but is confused to learn that there's no help coming. He hands the phone to Levi, who relays Harper's condition and makes it clear that they'll also need a neonatal ambulance. As Levi reassures Harper that an ambulance is now on its way, Eliza secretly begins recording the birth on her phone, transfixed by Harper's increased suffering. With Tane by her side, Harper finally gives birth with Levi's assistance. For a tense moment, there's only silence as an emotionless Eliza watches on. Levi is forced to perform chest compressions on Archie as Harper frantically asks if he's going to be okay. Then, at last, the baby cries, and Levi gently places Archie in Harper's arms. Later, at the hospital, Dana arrives to meet her nephew and Harper and Tane share a moment, acknowledging how each other handled the situation. Meanwhile, Rue is keen to catch up with Eliza, assuming she's been affected by the experience. But Eliza appears unfazed, and casually shows Rue the video she recorded of the birth. Rue is shocked that Eliza filmed the event without permission. Back at the hospital a short while later, with Levi and Mackenzie also checking in on Harper and the baby. A weary Harper gets out of bed for a shower, only to collapse into Levi's arms. Seeing blood dripping onto the floor, Levi drags Harper back to the bed as he and Dana quickly spring into action. Calling a code blue, Harper is hemorrhaging. Will Harper pull through? Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more movie spoilers next week. Goodbye and see you again.